The Nikon ZF is real, and it's going to be announced very soon with impressive specifications. Did you think that the previous rumored specs were too good to be true? Well, stick around after this short break for all the details. But first, please do me a favor. Follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, but most importantly, please subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you anything, it really helps this channel grow, and it helps keep you up to date on the latest camera gear, news, and rumors. According to a trusted and well-known source, somebody who's been in the camera industry for several decades, and not just covering Nikon, but Canon, Sony, and others as well, they've told me I can't tell you how they know, but they're telling me that the Nikon ZF is going to be announced very soon. And when I say very soon, I've checked with other sources, and it's definitely not happening today, but next week is a very strong possibility. But one other thing this source has told me is that the results are going to impress everyone. Everyone. That is bold, isn't it? To be able to impress everybody in today's market where we have the Canon EOS R5, the Nikon Z8, the Sony Alpha 1, to be able to impress everybody, well, that's going to take a fair bit of work. So let's recap what we know 100% for sure. The Nikon ZF is going to be announced, and it's going to be announced sometime in August, most likely next week. And that's pretty much it in terms of pricing and other specifications. All we have is what we've heard from Sony Alpha rumors and Nikon rumors. So let's take a look at some of the bold specifications from both of those two websites to try and understand what we could see in this camera, the Nikon ZF, that would impress. And because it's supposed to impress everybody, I need your help to help me understand what you would consider impressive in this camera. Now, the first thing we're told about is that this camera, and this is agreed upon by Sony Alpha rumors and Nikon rumors, is that the Nikon ZF is going to cost $1,999. Okay, that alone is not impressive to me. $2,000 for a full-frame camera. Enter the Panasonic S5 Mark II or the Canon EOS R8 and a whole list of other cameras that are under $2,000. What about a 24 megapixel sensor according to Nikon rumors in their latest post on August the 1st? Again, 24 megapixels, not that impressive. The Canon 1DX Mark III, and I can list off a whole slew of cameras that are right around 24 megapixels. It's not that impressive either, is it? What do you think? 24 megapixels, $1999? I mean, that's the Canon EOS R8 right there, correct? Okay, so what about a single card slot? Again, I don't think that's impressive. We've got that in the Canon EOS R8, and the main difference between the R8 and the R6 Mark II is a single card slot and no IBIS. Okay, so what other specs do we have for the the Nikon ZF? An improved autofocus system on par with the Nikon Z8, and again, we're getting that from Sony Alpha rumors and Nikon rumors. Again, not that impressive. That's kind of what we expect, right? Okay, so an improved autofocus system, no mention about the image processor, and the form factor. Okay, let's talk about the form factor. Sources, according to Sony Alpha rumors, say that it feels pretty much like a ZFC, although more metallic, and both sites are saying that this camera feels, well, like a more quality device, a more, how should we say, it essentially has a better design, it has better build quality than the Nikon ZFC, and it's going to have that retro look. Almost 20 years ago to the date when we got the DF. So far, nothing that I've talked about from Sony Alpha rumors and Nikon rumors about the Nikon ZF sounds, well, impressive, does it? I know what you're thinking. The only way to truly impress with the Nikon ZF is with a stack sensor. A stack sensor originally rumored by Sony Alpha rumors that most of you, including myself, just don't believe is going to be in the camera, whether it be a 24 megapixel sensor, stack sensor, or it be a 45.7 megapixel stack sensor found in the Nikon Z8, also found in the Nikon Z9. I don't think that's how the Nikon ZF is going to impress. I think the Nikon ZF is going to impress people that are looking for a cool camera, a cool retro-looking camera similar to this Fujica, a camera that not only looks cool, but can get the job done. Regardless of the specs, this camera has captured my imagination, and as such, I'm going to be holding a live stream next week or whenever this announcement comes forth. Now, while I've been recording this video, I did get a text coming in telling me that, well, it's not going to be announced this week. The Nikon ZF is going to be announced next week. So once I know the date and time, I'm going to schedule a live stream where I'm going to cover the event 1 hour before, just like my other live streams. And then we're going to cover the event. And then hopefully I'll have people with hands-on where we can talk about this camera. I'm really excited to see what this camera has. I really don't think it's going to have a stack sensor, but still, another camera around the $2,000 price point, a new mirrorless Z-mount camera from Nikon. I'm pretty excited, and if you're interested in pre-ordering the camera, I have a bunch of smart pre-order links here, one from B&H and one from Adorama. So how could I possibly have smart pre-order links when we don't even have an announcement yet? Well, we do know that there's going to be multiple SKUs of this camera. We're going to have the body alone and likely 2 kit lenses, and if you're purchasing from Adorama or B&H, well, we'll likely have another SKU from those guys throwing in a camera bag or cards or other things. So these smart links will show you every single package available, listing off the price, allowing you to make the decision quicker so you can get into the queue and get your camera before anybody else. And if you want to stay up to date on all the latest news and rumors, specifically regarding the Nikon ZF, I keep wanting to call it the Nikon ZFC, well then go ahead and subscribe. Not only does it help keep you informed on the latest camera gear news and rumors, but it helps this camera or this channel get recognized. And for all the minor news and rumors, well then go ahead and follow me on Twitter, or formerly known as Twitter, it's now called X, because I'm always putting out news stories and pricing information that's, well, the stories aren't quite big enough to have their own separate video. And there's a lot of deals on right now, and because it's now August and next month is September, we're expecting a whole slew of camera announcements, and it looks like the Nikon ZF might be our biggest camera announcement so far this fall semester, while we're still in summer. Look, it happens. Normally, the biggest time for camera announcements is between the second week of September all the way up to the end of October, and then following mid-January all the way till the end of May. But as we saw with the Canon EOS R5 2020, we got that announcement at the end of July, very close to August. And then, of course, following the same year, in the following month, at the end of August, we had the Sony A7S III. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Nikon ZF is next week. But what it appears to be right now is that what we're hearing seems to be aligning a lot closer to what Sony Alpha Rumors is saying about the Nikon ZF, rather than Nikon Rumors. And this is very, very strange to me. Peter at Nikon Rumors has done a terrific job of nailing these cameras, the Nikon Z9, the Nikon Z8, and to get the specifications wrong and or the date is really surprising. But according to Sony Alpha Rumors, the date was supposed to be August the 2nd, but got delayed for some reason, and the delay is supposed to be anywhere from a couple of days to a couple of weeks, but definitely August. But that's it for now. Have yourself a great long weekend, at least here in Ontario, and we'll see you again soon.